So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruel Leach. For those who don't know me yet, you heard from me via somebody else, and we decided to do some free courses to help people that are or need some refreshing, as well as brand new people that want to put their feet in the crypto waters but are too scared to even dip their toes. We've been in the crypto space since between 2014 and 2015, and we've been teaching cryptocurrencies since then. We've made a lot of money and we've lost a lot of money. Anyone that tells you that's a teacher that tells you anything else is a liar or hasn't been in for long. Well, there's one of the two. So if somebody says I don't lose money in crypto or I don't lose money in the markets, they or I probably have only been in the market for 5 minutes. But what we want to do is to help everyone understand what they're doing and minimize their risk. Because we can help you understand that when the market does take a dip, how can you take advantage of that? How can I take advantage of when the price drops? All of us take advantage of when the price drops. My wife and I went to some shops in George today, and she said, we need some towels for our Airbnb room. But we're going to look who's got specials on. Look whose prices are rock bottom, not sky high. So rock bottom or sky high. And everybody thinks, I want to be there. I want to go there. I want to be there. No, you don't want to go there. You always want to buy low and sell high. That's the purpose of trading. But if I buy over there or I bought over there, guess what happens? I start seeing the market dropping. So we're going to teach you some little trade tricks. Tonight we're going to focus only on one indicator. So we call them indicators. These are tools that traders use. So in other words, I'm going to just refresh the screen, wipe all of that off. And unfortunately, this platform, whenever you click on something, you wipe what you've drawn on. So what I'm suggesting, if you want to draw your lines or that on the screen, then open the altcoin trader tab in another screen and go and trade there and go and do your business there. So you can open as many tabs on the same account as you want to work separately from the screen. So first of all, Bollinger Bands was created by a guy by the name of John Bollinger. John Bollinger he's not a crypto. He was a stock market trader, and he decided I need to know what is the market moves going to be next. What's going to be the highest? So when I look at today's Bitcoin price went all the way from 2.1 million down to 2.06 million. That was a dramatic drop of 5.4%. And people were panicking, people were selling. But the Bollinger Bands, I'm going to show you in a second how this works, shows you what are the extreme highs and the extreme lows at the current market prices. How high will this go and how low will this go? So that I can determine where the price is, where to buy and where to sell. So on the top of your screen, you'll see all of these little tools here. This shows full screen. If I click on that, it's full screen. If at the bottom of the screen, I'm going to go, can you close the door there, please? I'm going to clear this at the bottom, this little volume button. That will not mean anything to you for most of your trading. So I just wipe it off to clear the screen. Then what we're going to do is we're going to see all of these tools. You see, there's undo, remove. There's a compare or add symbol. We're going to be focusing on these tools and later on these tools on the left. These are just little Like when you did maths at school or trigonometry or geometry, you're just going to do trigonometry, geometry, and maths with the help of all the tools. So nobody's going to check you if you're going to pass the exam, fail the exam by cribbing to use the tools. But our tools, list of tools that are very important are listed down on this list. And we're going to use a few of them over the most important ones. And I'm not saying they're not all important. Different people, different strokes for different folks. But we're going to focus on this one here called the Bollinger Bands. So I'm going to click on the Bollinger Bands and then close this, make this full screen. So let's just focus on from the 10th of this month until today. If you had traded the Bollinger Bands, now the Bollinger Bands will show you how high at the current price, the current rate the market is going, and the current buy and sell order books, how low or how high it will go. So traders often are using the Bollinger Bands to help them determine how high or how low the market could go. So basically what it's telling you that since this morning, the price could, at this particular point in time, it could go as low as 2.08, or it could go as high as, and at this point in time, we saw the Bollinger Bands coming down, closing up. So the direction is pointing down. So the highest point that we have now is that price. So if you are trading on a day to day, this is a 30-minute graph. In other words, we're going to get to candlesticks also. In other words, each one of these little lines, we call them candlesticks. Each one of them. The red candlestick means the price is going down, and the green candlestick means the price was going up. And traders like the green ones more than they like the red ones. And the red ones mess with their minds big time. So today we have a trading range of percentage 4.3% to play with. And as I said, each one of these symbolize a time. You see at the bottom of the screen, as I'm moving the mouse left, you'll see it's 3 o'clock this morning, 2:30 this morning, 2 o'clock this morning, 1:30 this morning, 1 o'clock this morning, 12:30, and midnight last night. It tells us the time frames that each one of these was a 30-minute time frame. Now we can change these time frames. I'm going to show you. I can change this to a 5-minute time frame. A 5-minute time frame is not as broad as a 30-minute time frame. So for somebody who's trading from minute to minute, they only have a 1.7% trading range. What we've also seen is that sometimes the candlesticks push out the Bollinger Bands. Push out the Bollinger Bands. And of course, this is a good sign for traders, because if I bought lower than the Bollinger Bands, it has to get back into the price has to get back in there. So it went back in there and it went up a percentage. Let's see how much from there to there, 1.79%. So traders are always trying to buy the bargains. But you can see the Bollinger Bands are very more narrow, because it's showing you minute to minute movement. So when you decide to trade the Bollinger Bands, you need to decide what kind of trader am I. So if you're trading 5 minutes or 15 or 30 minutes like we started off with, This this platform is set on a 30-minute time frame, but you can change it to any time frame. If I want to see what Bitcoin has done over on a 1 week, so each one of these candlesticks is now a 1 week candle. 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week, one. This is what I use these charts, these candlesticks charts to see how as a a medium term trader would want to trade these candlesticks. Look what happened over here. The candlestick went way out of the Bollinger Band. When it goes out, it has to come back in again. When it comes back in again, the price drops. When it goes to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, or even outside of the Bollinger Band, like there, it went slightly out, it has to go back into the Bollinger Band again, which it did. And it's gone pretty high. So the Bollinger Band kind of tells you where the market would move. And this is different because just now when we took a 30-minute graph, we only had 5% to work with. But a trader that's trading from now till the top of the Bollinger Band, from the current price, can play with around 7 to 8%. But then he must be willing, if the price drops, to buy it down 24% lower. Will the Bitcoin go lower? It will. It is going to go there. It cannot just keep going up. No aeroplane stays in the air. And as nice as what we enjoy in the plane in the air, it has to come down to refuel again. Nobody likes to pay high prices all the time. People chase the market, make the price go higher because cryptocurrency is become, nobody thought that a digital currency could cost you 2.1 million rand. And yes, will it go to 3 million, 4 million, 5 million? It's going to go to 10 million, 20 million. But I can tell you that most people will not be able to have the stomach to handle it if the price went and dropped down low again. But the good traders will be buying there because they'll be making a lot more money when it goes back up again. So the Bollinger Bands, I've got it now on a 1 week graph. I can change this graph from a 1 week graph. Each one of those candlesticks is represented. I can change it to 1 month. And 1 month, you can see, let me just make this full screen for those of you maybe using a phone for Zoom call. You can see there, early 2021. You had the candlesticks outside the Bollinger Bands. You knew that you're busy playing with fire over there. See, the fire means things get burned down. It's coming down. And then they pushed the price up again to the top of the Bollinger Band, outside the Bollinger Band, once more time, 11th, 1st of November, and down we go. This is possibly what we'll be seeing this year. But I won't be discussing that now. I want you to focus not on Bitcoin so much. I want you to focus on the cheaper coins. Some of you have heard of Elon Musk. He pumped this coin just by talking. He created this flow of love towards cryptocurrency by talking about the cryptocurrency that was about to fail. Early 2021. Look, the price. Let's put the Bollinger Bands on there. You see, if I've got a 1 week or a 1 month Bollinger Band on, and the price is going up to there, but I know that the price shouldn't be higher in that week than there, then what I do is I stay awake until that thing starts coming down. And I get out. I sell everything I have. X. And then I wait for it to hit the bottom again. because on your 1 week Bollinger Band, you might have seen the bottom of the Bollinger Band would have been there. So the bigger the time frame, the bigger that bubble that you see over there. So at the moment we have on the 1 week on Dogecoin, which is a few rand a coin, we can go to 6 Rand 60, or we can go down to 47 cents. Just close this again. That's how high we can go, knowing that it has actually pushed out of the Bollinger Band previously, but this is how low it could go. So good traders are saying, all right, I'm not going to put all my money in on at the current price if it's going to do that. I'm going to make sure I'm splitting my risk. I want to buy stuff on, I want to buy on, I want to buy on special. I don't think there's one of you here that goes to 10 shops to go and see what you're going to pay for um, Millie Meal and say, okay, I found the most expensive shop. I'm going to go and buy there. But that's what you do when you trade. You want to, when people trade and the price goes up, they don't want to miss out. Then they buy and then they go to bed that night and wake up the next morning and the price has dropped to the bottom. So when you're trading, this is a long-term, medium to long-term trader. That trader is going to buy at the current price and sell maybe between 6 Rand 50 and maybe up to 8 Rand. But they're also going to do is they're going to place orders down. They're going to, let's say you got 1,000 Rand. Then you're going to put 50 Rand, 50 Rand, 50 Rand, 50 Rand, 50 Rand. You're going to spend 500 of the 1,000 Rand to place orders for when the price drops. For when the price drops, not if the price drops, for when the price drops. Folks, the prices will fall. But if you are only in at the current price wanting to sell up, then the price drops, then you panic. Now, I want to tell you this this is the safest way to trade because this platform only does spot trading. What is spot trading? Today, this morning when you opened, if you were watching the gold, the silver, US dollar, you might have seen the US dollar on 1774. So when you go to the exchange and you want to sell them your dollars, they're going to give you I'm going to tell you now. Just change this. They're going to, if you want to sell your dollars, you sell it to them at 1774. If you want to buy the dollars, you're going to buy it at 1783. So you always sell lower than the buy price. There's always a difference between the buy and sell price. In 1774 and 1783, what's the profit you can make if you just trade between that and that price? Half a percent. Now, for a trader who's trading, I want to just give you an update that on all trades, you're going to ask me, what is my fees? What is my broker's commission that I must pay? Everyone pays 0.1% per transaction. So if you're going to place an order of, let's move that one side again. You want to buy 1,000 rands of US dollars, then they're going to charge you 0.05 cents. In other words, half a cent US dollar fee. That's your trading fee. So it's half of 1%. That's 0.0, in this case is 0.05. No, others are 0.1%. In other words, you will have to add that fee should you want to look at this. Say, okay, I'm going to make 0.5 minus that. But for those people that are trading with big amounts of money, and we're getting back to the Bollinger Bands now. If you've got a 100,000 rand, you buy, let's say you're going to buy your Bitcoin at 1774. So you're going to place an order for 100,000 rands worth of US dollars over there. That's what you're going to get back if somebody sells to you at the current price. Then what you do is you say 1783, I'm going to sell 0.5% higher because that's just the difference between the buy and sell price. It's immediate or virtually immediate. I'm going to sell my, and I'm going to get 507 rand back because I used 100,000 and now I get 100,000 five. So 0.5% could be a nice, if you did that once a day, that's 500 rand a day, and 500 rand a day times 30, 15,000 rand a month, just because you did 0.5% trade. When we put the Bollinger Bands on this, for instance, we can then see what small percentages, if you're trading Forex, you're trading very small percentages. But if you're trading, let's say Tron, which has got huge movements, let's put it on a one-day graph and let's put the Bollinger Bands on that. And this is one of my favorite trading coins. We can see over the months, over the years, how well it's done. It's come down up from less than 1 rand all the way up to 8 rand, and it's back on its way up. And your trading range using the Bollinger Bands is, well, if it went out the Bollinger Bands, is 4% up and 9% down. Now that's not so hectic. Let's use something else. Let's use something more hectic than that. This is a new cryptocurrency, BitSensor, which is represented as Tau or DAO. Put the Bollinger Bands on there. Okay, there's no Bollinger Bands for a one-day graph yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a 4-hour graph, and then we'll have Bollinger Bands. Let's see the percentages from the bottom, from the current price to the top of the Bollinger Bands. It's 9% up and 5% up. So traders can make a lot more on penny stocks. So what are penny stocks? They normally say if a coin is less than $2, that's called a penny stock. Now, I don't know how many of you watch The Wolf of Wall Street. Now, some places you just got to look away because the stuff that they got up to, so you got to have a good, I mean, your moral compass goes all wacko. But when you are trading anything, you want to trade the penny stocks are the most profitable coins. $2 is 35 rand. So if a coin's price is under 35 rand, if I click on price over here at the top, then it shows me the most expensive to the cheapest coins. And then if I click price again, it swaps that around, and I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's quite a few coins that are under 17 rand 83. So these are what we call penny stock coins. These are all very cheap coins. Now you're going to be surprised. What is Shiba? How many rands is that? Let's click on it. This is 1 cent. From that's where 1 cent starts. So it's 0.001 cent. In other words, if you can't buy 100 rands of that now, then you get 7.19 million Shibas. So you're the entry person. You can rather brag that you got 7 million Shibas than you got a 0.0% Bitcoin. Right. So the idea of the Bollinger Bands is to give us guidelines, and I like to use the Bollinger Bands, especially with the cheaper cryptocurrencies, because I can then, and I'm going to start, if I start trading this coin in the morning, I start by just clear that quickly, put the Bollinger Band on screen, and then I make it full screen. I can now sit and plot my trades right from now till a few till tomorrow morning. So I know that this price can go all the way down to 3 Rand 80 or all the way up to 4 Rand 39, which gives me an effective trading range going up of 8.5%, going down of 6.08%, or an effective trading range of 15.9%. This is why we like to use this, because this gives us the flexibility of trading. Do you want to or do you want to play it safe and say, I want to just go into Bitcoin and Ethereum. I want to buy the expensive coins, which can move 1 to 3% a day, up or down. Or I can go into a penny stock coin, which has proven itself, but it's very volatile because it's so cheap. And it can go 8% up or 6% down. In other words, if I buy, the price drops down to this price here, 3 Rand 80, and I sell then at 4 Rand 40, then I make a 15% profit. That's much better. No bank is even going to give that to you in a year. You can make that in a day or a week. So your flexibility is much better. Your ability to make money is so much more better. And that's why we like to use the Bollinger Bands. Are there any people that want to ask questions about this? I don't always know where people's minds are at and what kind of questions they want to ask. I've been teaching this for quite a few years. It's a very straightforward thing. If I do decide to refresh, it just wipes everything off again and starts back to 30 minutes. So that's the unfortunate part of using this platform. When we start doing overseas platforms, once you logged in, you don't lose the information that you've drawn on the screen. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be teaching other tools like the tonight we did the Bollinger Bands, and then we're going to do there's this Ichimoku cloud we might do at the end. We will do moving average, MACD, parabolic SAR, RSI, and maybe stochastics. But there's different tools. But I don't want to give you too much tools, because too many tools can confuse you also. So if we do one per session, then it's easier to understand. So what is the purpose of the Bollinger Band? The Bollinger Band is there to tell you what the possibilities in that time frame, in the half an hour, 30-minute time frame, what the possibilities, and you can see now the market direction is down. That line in the middle, that red line in the middle, is what we call the moving average. The secret here is the price always wants to get back to the moving average. So the moving average is the average of all the prices. So it actually does a calculation every 30 minutes. It says the price was there, and then the price was there, and then the price, and then it adds all of them up, and it takes the average of those prices all the way back, and says the price should actually be here right now. This is this is where the price should be, but with the volatility in the market, it could go down to there or it could go up to there. I have no questions, so I assume that it's straightforward enough. So, welcome to the Bollinger Bands. For those of you who are new to this, it's a very nice tool to use. This is the first tool I've always taught the traders, besides teaching them what candlesticks are and how they work. But candlesticks can make you so confused. Whereas you use the Bollinger Band that has automatically a moving average line in the middle, which gives you the direction of the road. Now, here's another picture that I like to talk about. When you're driving on the road, you want to, if you're in South Africa, you want to be on the left-hand side of the road. But now sometimes you go off the road. You go on the dirt, and then you've got to get back into the road again. So when you're going off the road at any point in time, those candlesticks have made that the price has actually gone back to a higher price because they've gone off the road there. Over here, they've stayed in the middle of the road. Gone off the road, come back into the road. Gone off the road, come back into the road. Gone off the road, come back into the middle. So our Bollinger Bands might do this between now and tomorrow because we're all sending the folding. So tomorrow we'll possibly doing trades between there and there and there and there. With cryptocurrency trading, if the price goes lower, you don't lose your coins. Your orders are still in place because the price will go up and it will sell. But if the price doesn't go up and you've got buy orders lower, you've got buy orders lower and it doesn't go down to your buy orders, no worries. The market said it could go there, but still no worries. You can wait. If the price carries on going up, then you can always cancel these orders and you got your money back in your account to trade with. Great, folks. You have yourself a wonderful evening. As soon as I've got this recording done, I will put it on the group so that you folks can all view it in time, and you're always welcome to ask questions. Thank you. Thank you, Lynette. You also have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Willie. Okay, the start, go over the start of the Bollinger Bands. Where do I go? I've got 2 minutes left. I go, just refresh the screen. All your indicated tools are on this little bar over there. So when you click on that, all of them pop up. If they're not here where you can see them, you can scroll down to look at them, or you can just type them in this box. See Bollinger Bands, not Bollinger Bands percentage or Bollinger Bands width, just Bollinger Bands. And there's the setting. It's on the 30-minute. You can change that, and all the Bollinger Band settings will change depending on, you can see there the Bitcoin hit the price it should be this afternoon. So I'm sorry, Dogecoin hit the price it should be. So as you change your time frame, your Bollinger Bands will expand or contract. Great. Have yourself a wonderful evening, folks. Bye for now.